Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel again today. Today's share is for Cut to You, and it is something a little bit different for me. I am working in a pocket page notebook, traveler's notebook designed by the Stamp Spot, and this page is for the Scrap the Girls January challenge. Gwen is again the sponsor over there, so make sure you head over. I'll provide all the links below so that you can play along. I have a little bit of tutorial here for you. Now, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to look on your screen. It goes in and out of being blurry and not blurry. So if it is blurry, please let me know. All I've done, I wanted to show you how I cut my files. So all I've done is opened this Traveler's Notebook, the best is yet to come file in my Silhouette software. And I have gone, the first thing I did was went to the trace button, I hit select trace area, I selected, so I drew basically a box with my mouse over the whole where the black text was, and then hit trace. From there I've deleted the original PNG file that I was working with, and I'm left with my cut lines here. You can see that I am resizing them, and rather than resizing them and keeping them the ratio the same, I've pulled down on the boxes, so I've gone a little bit shorter than 8 inches and a little bit wider than 4 inches so that I could fit it into my pocket page notebook. This is what I am working on. You can see I've cut some pattern paper. This is from the Chamel Glitter Girl collection from the project pad, and I was really inspired by the Pinterest board that Chrissy has linked to with all the pin-up girls. There were lots of inspirational quotes about basically I've got this, you're good enough, and that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of what I went with. There's lots of the pin-up girl kind of looks as well, and I recently took this photo on Snapchat. I edited it in one of my apps, and I've made it black and white and made my bow on my head red. There was another picture on the Pinterest board that had this gorgeous aqua colored dress with red cherries on it. I own a pair of shoes in the same print and was really inspired by the colors in that, so the aqua and the red. I've actually cut this file twice. Now, because I'm using plain cardstock, it's not textured or anything, I've just cut it twice without flipping the design or anything. I knew I wanted to attach this to some acetate to slip into the pocket, and I didn't want to be able to see the glue from the other side, so I have cut a second one that I'm going to add colour to the back of and then adhere to the back of the acetate. What I've used here is a couple of different Shimmers products. If anyone wants to know the colours, leave me a comment below and I will let you know. And I've just used a paintbrush, sprayed the colour on, and then I've dried it with my heat tool. Once that was dry, I added in a little bit of stamping. I've just used a grey ink and a textured dotty spotty stamp, and I'm just going to leave that as it is. I am now working on the back piece, and again I'm just doing the exact same technique. I don't make you watch all of that. I dry that off with my heat tool, and you can see here I'm going to start sticking. So I'm just using my tape runner here to stick it all down, and I realise as I go to do this that my E's I've done both the same way, so I'm not going to be able to do that. I do go back and recolour it and add the stamping again, but I do that off camera, and you can see here I'm just sticking the back on now, and I've just lined that up straight through the acetate so that it lines up with the back. I've got a pile of stuff to my left hand side there of things that I have pulled out to use, and I was mostly looking for colour as I did this. Like I said, I was looking for red and the aqua. I have a box of goodies with Australian company stuff. It sounds really random. I've got delicious scraps in there. I've got some stuff from Rainbow Splendid Design. I've got some stuff in there from Flutterby Designs, and some stuff from Studio 1440, which is no longer. And so I like to dive in there for a few bits and pieces, and that's exactly what I've done. This doily, I believe, came in one of the kits I got from Rainbow Splendor, and I've just cut it in half. I've used a red chevron label that I've also cut in half and laid on either side of my photo. That's from Delish Scraps. I'm going to use this tab from Studio 1440. I'm just going to cut that out. I can't remember what it says. You can see it in the close-ups, I think. I'm just going to layer that in there as well. You can see I've moved my doily to the other side. Toyed with the idea of some other things. Wanted to use this red flower. Those aqua leaves match perfectly, and that red is exactly the right colour. Now, while I was creating this, I was very aware of not putting too much texture in too many bumpy things. I haven't had much of a play in a traveller's notebook at all, and I'm so glad that I invested in these ones from the Stamp Spot. I love the idea of the pockets, they're fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully do some more pages in that, especially since Gwen has just released the brand new Traveller's Notebook cut files, which of course you can use on a regular scrapbook page as well. I pulled another, so that floral and the red strip, I know that says love, come from the Glitter Girl paper, sticker pad thing that came in the folder. Knew that I had red in the ephemera and then ended up going nuts, not right. I had this journaling label from Delish Scraps from a kit that I had. I'm going to add a couple of quick lines of journaling, basically saying I cannot wait to see what 2019 has in offer. Bring it on. Just sticking all my layers together. And I figured since half of that tag was going to be lost behind, I would chop it off. Add in the other half of that doily there. I'm going to stick it all down. I've got some white washi tape with little like scribbly red love hearts. I'm going to add a couple of little strips of that there. What else am I doing? Oh, this took a little bit of fussing with to get it into the pocket just because the letters kept getting caught on the page protector. I'm going to stick this down. I found the easiest way to stick it is working from the outside edge. So you'll see me do a couple of different things. But I end up lining up the outside edge of the book, well, the paper with the book, and then kind of rolling it into the middle. I think I'm done here showing you. And then I come back. I remembered I had these red love hearts. Now, in my process from taking this from my craft room to where I photograph, I lost one of my hearts. So it's not in the close-ups. It does end up back exactly where I'm putting it right now, and it does stay there once I relocate it. But it's not in my close-ups because it fell off and I didn't notice. I decided I wanted to add some enamel dots. These two are a dark aqua tealy colour, but there's only two of them, and they just stand out way too much. So again, I am using some enamel dots from, I'm not sure. I think these are Uniquely Creative actually. So I'm just adding two of those in 3 spots, and another close-up, give you a quick wave, and a couple of close-ups. So I had a lot of fun playing with this. I will leave links to the Stamp Spot, to Cut to You, to Scrap the Girls. I'll leave links for everything in the description box below. I will leave links to my blog where all of the links are as well. And I hope that you've enjoyed something a little bit different for me, and I hope to be playing a bit more in my Traveller's Notebook, especially with some of those awesome new cut files from Cut to You. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll be back again soon with another page. Thanks for stopping by.